In 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Koku is here with Rosh and Saku and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Oh.
Hello. Agent Lang.
Why is he helping Mr. Alba out now?
He's not. He realized a flaw in my argument and is helping to move the logic along. In which case, I should return the favor and find the answer.
Another thing. Mr. Coach's body was found in his office in Babel. So what happened to his body after it was transported into the open-air stage?
You ask all the right questions. Mr. Alba had an accomplice in Babel, remember?
Sheena, right?
I'm sorry, Lang. With her there, you can see how it was possible to move the body up to the office.
Are you claiming that she swam through the connecting pipe with the body?
Hey, he's right. Miss Sheena would drown if she did that.
It's hard to imagine that she swam through the connecting pipe. I mean, I am imagining it and it looks pretty cool in my mind, but I don't close it.
Looks like your hypothesis for how the body was moved is still only half-baked. In the end, it's all just the befuddled musings of a accusatory man. I realize it says befuddled, but befuddled works too.
Befuzzled sounds like a furry convention.
No then, I believe you should just give up and allow me passage. Because from the start there was no feasible method of transporting the body.
What? What about that flat pushcart for a start?
Mr. Prosecutor, recall Sheena's movements.
I hate thinking about the way women move. What was happening in the embassy around the time Miss Sheena was in Babel?
Oh, if only there was a way to get rid of the water in the pool.
Get rid of the water.
That wasn't to Kay, by the way. That was to everyone in this room.
That's it.
No, I believe this time we really are done, right?
Everyone just turns around and goes, "No!" Unfortunately for you, it's far from over, Mr. Alba.
You're the most persistent man.
Why, thank you.
Are you saying you thought of a way to move the body through the water?
Move the body through the water? That is completely unrelated to how it was done.
Excuse me?
The reason I say that is because there wasn't any water at the time.
What do you mean, there wasn't any water?
I remembered a thing about fires and water and stuff. It's just what it sounds like. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. Fire!
Precise piece of evidence you're gonna have to show. Is it either the fire or the thing about the spigots?
I think it's the fire.
The burning building.
Fire. Coco, you sounded so defeated there. You were like, "It's the fire."
Yeah.
I just want this done. We've been playing this for a year. Like, just end it.
I mean, like, how many times has it been like, oh, it's too late, we can't do anything. Oh, here comes someone!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more fake endings than Return of the King. It does. Tonight, the Yatakarasu set fire to a variety of stations in the embassy. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could be used to traverse the border.
So what? The water level went down. The reservoirs were connected. Does any of this matter? You can't prove any of this.
Bitch, I don't need to prove it. Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. I mean, it has for a long time, but it won't anymore. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now. This is an Ace Attorney game, baby. Even in a game, there comes a critical, game-changing moment.
Oh my... You're not off! Stop breaking the fourth wall!
A moment in which you hit a wall that you must overcome in order to beat the game. And he looks around at the camera and winks.
I haven't lost yet.
I found the route you used to smuggle the body, and that route will lead to your defeat.
Even if all the water was used by the firefighting effort, you still can't really call that a smuggling route.
I know that.
I should have figured that you would notice. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are those pools anyway? I'll have you know those pools are extremely deep. And there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either. It would be difficult for Sheena to hold the body and climb up out of the pool.
Ladders or footholds along the walls. There was no need for such things.
What do you mean?
If one were to use a certain something, they could go up or down in the will.
Oh, looks like you've got an answer already. Is it the Iron Boots from Ocarina of Time? It's the Iron Boots from Ocarina of Time, isn't it? Well,
Yes.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Enlightening us already. It was the Iron Boots, right?
It's cool, Lang. Just calm down. I got this. We can go play Ocarina of Time later.
Yes!
We've already been, like, talking about it for ages. We'll definitely go do it. In the way in which I'm too busy thinking about Zelda now. The end of Majora's Mask was good. The way in which Ms. Sheena and the body were able to rise up to ground level. If there was a way to control the water level, that could be the way the body was moved. So you have to play Zelda's Lullaby, and then this was used so that the body and Ms. Sheena could move up and down in the pool.
Pulls out an ocarina.
You go to that top Triforce up there and play the song, and then it comes to the top level. And then you can go down and, Princess Ruto will be there. Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a manner of speaking.
He used the fountain spouts? How so?
The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Ms. Sheena and the body were lifted upward by the buoyancy in the water. The fire on the Babalee side and the firefighting effort. These were set in motion all for the sake of smuggling Mr. Kochi. Excuse you. Shall I show you where the final destination trainer is? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance, in preparation of things to come. Then he took the pushcart that was brought to the rose garden. pushed it, along with the Iron Infant and Mr. Cochin's body, into the pool. At this time, Miss Sheena was busy conveniently starting the first fire in Babel. She then made for the open-air stage pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in the pool, the water level went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed.
I hoped it would roll.
The cart there looks exactly the same as the cart did in the game. It's the same.
Yeah, just call it in, I don't care.
This is where she pushed the pushcart from Alabaster into Babel. Once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. And the water level rose up to its original level, along with Miss Sheena and the body. But I couldn't find Ruto again. After that, Ms. Sheena used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There is an elevator in the embassy after all, so you see. Even with her small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved. Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterrestrial rights to protect you, are you?
I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back.
Accused me of moving the body across country lines.
Yeah.
But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me.
It is indicted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The nitty gritty? What does the old man want now?
Proof, I believe, is what he seeks.
Proof.
You're a poof.
What's up? God rest that man. Without any, who is to say whether or not any of what you said really happened?
He wants poof? What are you gonna do, Mr. Edgeworth?
I say we give the man what he wants, shoves Edgeworth towards him.
I thought we were friends.
Francesca.
How could you betray me like this? There is no need to worry. I've had all the poof we needed all of.
We know.
Everybody
Yes,
knows.
Miles, we know.
The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pools connecting the pipe tonight. Just as Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open-air stage area, so too did I find one other item there.
No, is it the guitar pick?
Ah, yeah. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route.
Because that's where we picked it up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's blatantly part of the knife. Okay, okay.
This was another thing that was smuggled over to Babel's stage.
Cookie.
Tasty.
And what exactly is this?
You have no idea, do you?
That's why
Edgeworth
I
is me.
asked, and I'm not.
Just like, I hope he says what it is, because I don't know. This little piece I found on the Babelese side will be your undoing. And I know exactly what it is, and you should too.
The guitar pick.
That's
Would
it.
you care to explain how that is going to do me in, as it were? Are we in a Chuck Tingle book? I don't think so.
Much to your chagrin, perhaps, but this is not a guitar pick.
What?
This is something I found at the open air stage, which was transported with the body. I naturally assumed that you would recognize it, since you took a photo with it after. But since you don't, allow me to fill you in on what I found at the stage, and what it actually belongs to. Da 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 da! Let us take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin.
Pull up the select item subscreen.
Thanks, Navi. On the handle of this knife there is a beautifully blooming flower. However, it would appear that it's missing a single petal. Now let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick in that open slot.
He like does it, but like round the wrong way. So he's like, "Oh, I guess I was wrong."
It's a perfect fit.
I assume the petal must have fallen off the flower during Mr. Cochin's, and then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body.
That's an interesting story, nothing more.
Oh, I assure you it's more than just a story. Because for some odd reason the flower petal was wet when I found it.
Say,
Yes, the only place it could have gotten wet from is the open air stage's pool. Because Larry was not there. I know he likes to lick things, but he definitely wasn't there at the time.
Larry, who's licking like that flower arrangement in the background.
Now I ask you, how did a part of the weapon which was smuggled into the theatre wind up in the open air stage area on the Babalese side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as the petal explains it all for me. It proved that someone went from the Rose Gardens pool on through into Babel.
oh. The people of Zangfa have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alva. I'll tell everyone back home we'll be there soon. You should be happy. Why?
Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning. When you took your first life. No matter how you may plot, or how you may try to cover it all up. You can never hide your crime and what you've done. Because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you.
You can't call what you've given a perfect argument.
You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with, or people who refuse to admit when they've lost. I don't believe those kinds of people really exist because everyone breaks eventually.
You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. All at once.
Like around and cracks them across the paper.
Take this and this! I'll use it all until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request you testify once more. This really will be the end of the line. I promise people playing this game.
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, Edgeworth. To be continued,
Coco,
yeah,
Rush,
seems
Saku,
about right,
I
yeah. Okay,
I promise.
okay. Sure, yeah, fine, great.
You didn't think you'd have to go through another save before you do.
Coco is just dead silent. I imagine Coco's just staring at the computer like...
There's that episode of The Simpsons where Homer just presses Y a lot, and then he gets a little bird to press Y for him. I just tripled my productivity. Click, click.
Click, click, click.
Present.
March 15, 3:33 a.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby.
Man, they've been up at this a long time, huh? You need to go to
I'm
bed.
very, very sleepy and hungry. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more.
As if there's anything else for me to testify about.
Well, if you would just confess, then we could all go to bed. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Kochan.
I'm so tired. I'm usually in bed by 9 p.m.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before it occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Neutralis.
Very well. I suppose that I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show.
Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me, as I love to hear about the Steel Samurai stage show. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation.
Oh, bit crunchy toes again.
I watched on the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them.
You don't like Steel Samurai as much as I do.
You
I'm
take
so-
that back.
I
Nope.
love Steel Samurai. How many
Nope.
episodes have you watched? Name 3 Steel Samurai images.
Oh, we will have a Steel Samurai off later. Right now, I need to know you were in the theatre proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you?
Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai.
Yeah, it was pretty cool up there, wasn't I?
You're not the one who was cool. It's the Steel Samurai who is cool.
He said it out loud. Yeah, and the Steel Samurai's special finishing move today was really something, huh?
Hey, Angie! Who's she? Who's this super cute girl?
She's been standing here this whole time, and only now he notices her. Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation.
And she's too young.
Much too
Sorry
young.
I didn't introduce myself earlier, but better late than never.
Her manners are too nice as well. Way too nice for you.
That's okay, I'm alright.
Silence in the peanut gallery! There's no time for such trivialities at a time like this.
Thank you for taking care of the younger gays.
Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle. You got that? Equip the Fierce Deity mask. End it in about 2 minutes.
Nice.
Aaron Hands.
He did good.
That was so fucking amazing.
Oh my goodness, yes. I was like, is he gonna... Yeah. And then they're like, well, what do we do now?
It really is just a curb stomp with that mask. It's so funny.
Yeah, I put it on every time.
Yeah.
I know. This is the end for that man there. You're not pointing anymore. You usually point.
No, that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give the...
Sorry, whoa, my brain went somewhere else.
I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Lang.
I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'll leave looking awesome and sexy to you, Mr. Lang. Wait.
It's not like it's a hard job, but someone's gotta do it.
This really is the end game, I promise. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's.
Uh-huh.
I promise.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I was from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience.
The last row. I should think that an ambassador would have had special seating reserved.
I'd say so. Hey, sorry about that.
No worries.
I wanted my staff to enjoy the Steel Samurai show as well. So I gave up all of the good seats for them. It was enough for me simply to see him.
Hey, the Steel Samurai wasn't the only hero. Let's not forget about the Pink Princess here.
Would have been the most beautiful thing if she accidentally stabbed him.
Whoops!
No one saw that.
Crimes!
Oh no, I didn't say samurai, duh!
Oh, never
sorry.
mind.
My dear madam,
It's samurai, not samurai.
if you continue to thrust about like that, your hip may begin to hurt again.
Oh my, well, aren't you the considerate person when you want to be?
I ship them now. That's
This young butter.
Sorry, Saku, on you go.
But this young butterfly is on the side of Edgy-Poo. So you can spare me the flirtatious come-ons.
Wow, he's completely frozen.
in frustration, perhaps. I dare say she can be one rather trying. In any case, Mr. Alba, can you actually prove to us that you are watching the show? And not just staring at Miss Oldbag's pink bazooms?
I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I'm ignoring the bazooms comment.
Are you admitting then that you have no way of proving to us that you were watching?
Quiet! You buzz in my ear like a pesky little fly. You don't wish to listen quietly until the end of what I have to say.
Who you think you is?
Then perhaps you should pack up and get out of my way. Yeah, I'm Alba. From Team Carnage, as my name was in the JP version.
His name was something like Carnage in JP. I don't think it was exactly that, but it was something along those lines. It's hilarious.
Alba mic drop.
I see that you're willing to be a bit more receptive now.
Just really don't like hip-hop.
While it's true that it may be difficult to prove that I was out in the audience, I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you?
Well, I remember the contents of the show as well, myself.
That's nice.
Screw you, dude! How dare
Okay,
you.
I'm 180 on Alba. I kinda love him for this card.
That's nice.
Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture.
But I
I need you to be the nerdiest nerd you've ever nerded.
I wasn't planning to let him.
Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here.
Slaps him in the face. Shut up, Larry.
Did you think the climatic scene of today's show was just totally awesome?
Yes, I remember that well. Nice spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate, early summer rain jab. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever.
You're in prison. Where you going?
Is that how it went? I totally forgot about that.
How can you forget your own special moves?
Didn't he line it up?
That's the special attack the Steel Samurai uses when he... Samurai. Idiot.
Yeah, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you with the name of the move?
I suppose you are correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me.
One of the scenes was of his never-before-seen early summer rain jab move.
Early Summer Rain Jab was a move that was to be unveiled today.
And because I saw that brand new special move, I believe it confirms my alibi.
How sad. The only way he's got to protect himself is that he watched the Steel Samurai.
That's
I guess that guy really has nothing else left.
brutal. He is my favorite character.
Yes. And to avoid arrest, you can bet he'll say or do anything, even act like a nerd. Which I'm not. But with all of us here, there'll be no escape for him.
I just imagine Saku when you ad-lib that, but I'm not. I just imagine like Lang and Franziska like looking straight ahead, but their eyes just like flick to each other. And then
Yeah.
Oh, in my head, they're totally drinking buddies now.
Yeah.
We'll find a way to bring him to justice.
Now then, let us continue with your testimony, Mr. Alban. I'm sad for Edgeworth because after this is... He wants to go out with Francisco and Lang and he's not allowed. they're way too cool. Yeah, nerds.
Very well. The Steel Samurai special move and the various other scenes. Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them.
I agree. Today will be a day to remember. Especially when we finally make you pay for all the wrongs you've committed.
Hey, that's what the Steel Samurai says when he defeats the evil magistrate.
Actually, that line was just something I ad-libbed.
You may act all surprised, but naturally you remember this line, don't you?
Of course I do. I just now understand how the evil magistrate felt, that's all.
Only now may you roleplay him. And allow me to make you identify with the evil magistrate some more.
Hey, then that makes you the Steel Samurai, huh?
Oh god, he's going to be insufferable.
I have a dream to count for him, yeah. Well, if you had to complete the analogy, yes.
And you know, it's complete coincidence that it went that way. I didn't do that on purpose.
No, he didn't set it up to be like that. He doesn't want to be a Steel Samurai.
What's Edgeworth's Steel Samurai roleplay account called, guys?
And I bet he like went in super early and just got Steel Samurai.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do believe it's about time to bring the curtains down on this with a bang. Because they're steel curtains. Or something. Kay and myself are also in the audience of the Steel Samurai stage show.
He's got nothing on the Jamming Ninja, but he was still cool enough, I guess.
Wasn't my brand new special finishing move totally rad?
No, don't tell me. It was you who thought up the special move.
Yep. Now what was it again? Extremely silly rain jab. Was that it? No, wait, it was double breaking chop. That doesn't sound quite right.
I would love to see that, but no. How can you forget a move you came up with?
Hey, yeah, I'd actually quite like that. It would save me a grip in the morning when I'm trying to shave.
My God! Double breaking chop! The final piece to Mr. Alba's alibi is that he was watching the Steel Samurai show. However, if he was busy killing Mr. Kochen, he should not have had the time to do so.
You remember Gunnar's improvement?
What about this bendy thing?
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you folks for joining us, and see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.